No, Kirby, I thought we was going to the moon. Ha ha ha! What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. Today we're going to discuss the Bitcoin price and the possible bearish signals forming inside the Bitcoin chart right here, right now. So let's begin here on the one-day time frame. But of course, before we begin, if you haven't already, a thumbs up for the algorithm would be so greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. Now, after Bitcoin broke down out of this bearish head and shoulders pattern, the good news is that the bulls have stepped in and, at least for the time being, are forming some local tentative support around the $10,000 range. This should not have come as a surprise to you, as this old multi-month support, which then flipped into new multi-month resistance, was broken through and now, upon backtest, is acting as a possible new support. This is classical technical analysis 101. Old resistance being broken to now possibly become new support. Let's get this crypto. So that's a bit of good news there. Also, the good news, my friends, is that here on the CME futures chart, this gap, which the Don Carbonaccio has been pointing out to you guys since all the way up here at 12,000, while little James was saying, Kirby, we're going to moon, Mars and beyond. The Don was saying, listen up, my friend. It's very possible that we could see a dump down to fill this $9,735 gap. As these gaps have filled with such a high degree of accuracy in the past, I couldn't do anything but say, oh, James. Oh, James. Listen, my friend, if we drop down here, yes, it would be a devastating debacle of a dump. And let's just take the price range tool for fun. If this gap fills from the top to the bottom of the gap, would be almost 23% to the downside. It's pretty heinous if you do, in fact, ask me. But it doesn't have to be the end of the world, in my opinion. And why is that? Well, look at all of this price action confluence in here, right? All of these bottoms, resistance flips, right? Support and resistance flips galore in here. And I think that this green area, which on my chart here goes all the way down to about 9,100. I mean, maybe we chalk it up to 9,000 flat. If Bitcoin is able to see a correction here after breaking through this absolutely staunch multi-month resistance zone and is able to now form support there instead of resistance and dumping, right? We tested in here, dumped, tested it here, dumped. Finally, we tested here, broke through, and now upon a correction, if we can hold this as support, I think this could be very potentially healthy for the long-term trend of Bitcoin. Let's get this crypto. So even though little James thinks that for some reason that this gap gets filled and then we just go to the moon, I don't think that that has to occur. I don't think so. It could, right? We could reverse there, but you also have to understand that there is a possibility here that this gap gets filled and we continue lower. As long as Bitcoin remains above 9,000 and we don't really drop below this green box here, I still think that the longer term bullish case for Bitcoin is still intact. Let's get this crypto. My friends, if you are enjoying thus far, a thumbs up is so greatly appreciated. And if you're brand new, welcome to the channel. Hit that subscribe button, tick the little bell, select all, and let's get this crypto. This is the most realistic Bitcoin technical analysis channel you're ever going to find. So welcome to the channel and welcome to La Familia. So for me right now, the gap is so close to being filled, it really wouldn't surprise me if it's filled at this point. And even if we overshoot it to the downside, just watch for 9,000, as I do believe it's possible that the bulls could still be in control here, right? If we drop below 9,000, my friends, things could get ugly. So let's discuss some of the bearish signs here that are a little bit concerning for me right now, okay? So we broke out of the bearish head and shoulders. We are finding some potential and tentative local support right now. But here's the first concerning factor. And this is the 20-day and the 50-day moving average death cross. I mean, by tomorrow, my friends, this should be in a full death cross formation here. And we are below this old support now, right? Which, even if we bounce up, could possibly act as new resistance, for a BART type of pattern to potentially drop us back down, right? This death cross is not exactly what I wanted to see here. Sure, I know I'll have the sticklers in the past saying, but Kirby, in the past, we've seen these act as contrarian fake out signals. And yes, that is quite true, my friend. There have been some fake outs in Bitcoin's history with these daily 20 and 50-day golden crosses and bearish death crosses. They have actually had a tendency to do the opposite. But, per classical technical analysis theory, this is not what you want to see here. And for me, especially, with the US dollar index, which we're going to discuss in a moment, potentially building some strength, this is not what I wanted to see. Okay, we'll leave it at that. So that's basically the number one warning sign for me. Here is the second one. We'll flip on the alligator. If you're unfamiliar with the alligator, this is an indicator I feature often on this stream that you may not see on other channels or from other analysts. So again, subscribe if you like these indicators. Basically, this is a momentum indicator, right? And what you're looking for are twists, bullish twists and bearish twists. Right now, we have had a bearish twist to the downside with the green crossing below the red and the blue. Further momentum to the downside with a large exaggerated red candle, and now the bands are beginning to widen. An example of this from the alternate perspective of what you're looking for is something like this. When we broke out of our bull flag, right, we have our twist, right, green above the red and the blue, and then we have an exaggerated bullish move, and the bands begin to widen, and ultimately this led to a large rip up in the price for over 20% to the upside from that twist and the exaggerated move. Let's get this crypto. So right now, I mean, sure, this doesn't have to play out similarly to how this did to the upside, but the characteristics are certainly there in my opinion, right? The twist, the exaggerated move, and the bands are widening. It's certainly there. It's just a warning sign for me at this point, my friends, that maybe the momentum which took us up through this bull flag is waning at this point, right? We are possibly seeing a decrease in that bullish, speculative momentum that we were seeing at that point in time. And it's possible that this market is having a breather right now, right? And it's also possible that we are going to see a heinous debacle into the abyss. Just keep your wits about you and let's continue with the video here, all right? Now, before we get to the other indicator that I want to feature, what I want to do now is go over to the US dollar index, as I was just stating. Now, if you notice here on the US dollar index, which is the world reserve currency, right? That's why it's important. I don't just pick this currency out of a hat. It is the world reserve currency. Dating all the way back into the 1980s, my friends, we have seen this range in particular be a very critical support and resistance flipping range, right? And right now, if you notice, we did tap the bottom of this box. On the daily time frame, we did have a bullish divergence across the RSI and MACD histogram indicators on the one-day time frame. I'm not going to pull those up now just for the sake of this video, but we did have that. And right now, we have had a multi-day rally here on the DXY, and we are possibly looking to break out above resistance right here, right now. Okay, so at this time, we have not broke that resistance, but we have been on a multi-day rally. And let's just actually take our date range here, right? Let's just see. So this has been, roughly, chalk it up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of straight upwards action for the DXY, right? And in case you are unfamiliar, if you're brand new to the channel, I nearly forgot to mention this. Basically, the DXY here, this is 2017 through 2018, right? Huge bear trend in the US dollar index. And now let's go over to the Bitcoin price. Same time period. My friends, this is basically what you're looking at here. The huge downfall in the DXY led to the huge upswing in the Bitcoin price. Sure, it could be a coincidence. A coinky-dink, Carbonagia. But my friends, basically here, we had that confluence there. Now fast forward into 2020, very similar. Okay, here we are in March 2020, huge downswing. And let's just briefly go back to Bitcoin from March 2020. I think you get the idea. Let's get this crypto. Okay, so now here on an even more micro scale, right? We're just talking several days at this point, right? Keep in mind that what I just showed you here, this is 6 days of price action right here, okay? 6 days. Let's go back to Bitcoin, and I want you guys to look at the past 6 days here, okay? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we are. What do you know, my friends? Ding, 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 chicken wings for dinner, tofu if you're vegan. That is the last 6 days, my friends. In exact an utter confluence with the DXY. The 6-day uptick in the DXY is showing a 6-day downturn in the Bitcoin price. Let's get this crypto. My friends, if you see this and you appreciate that the Don has been showing you this confluence and this the relationship between the DXY and the Bitcoin price over the past several months and months at this point, a thumbs up is all I ask for. And my friends, now, really, if you haven't already, you should subscribe, tick the little bell, select all, and let's get this crypto. Welcome to La Familia. I've been showing you these things for months on end. And right now, it's growing ever more apparent to me that that relationship is as strong as ever. So if the US dollar index is actually right now forming at least a short term or maybe actually a midterm bottom, right? It's possible that this sell-off maybe has subdued. And it's possible that maybe for the next several months we drift sideways or something of that sort, right? Basically, the most bullish scenario for me is if the DXY continues to drop rapidly. If we move sideways, I mean, I'm going to have to judge it day by day. If we move up, I certainly don't see that as helping the Bitcoin price move in a bullish direction. Let's get this crypto. Another thing to note here, though, is that the US dollar index going up over the past 6 days has also seen the S&P 500 see a dive, right, over the past several days. The Dow Jones a dive over the past several days. The NASDAQ a dive over the past several days. Gold a dive over the past several days. Silver a dive over the past several days. So right now, my friends, you know, this cash is king, right? Not that cash is, intrinsically moving up in value, right, as they inflate more and more. But what you have to understand is that in the Bitcoin world, there is a ton of unrealistic expectations. Rather, there are a ton of unrealistic expectations when it comes to inflation and hyperinflation and things of that nature, right? These things generally don't happen overnight. And in Bitcoin world, you get shilled this narrative over and over and over and over again that the world is hyperinflating. Bitcoin is finite, Kirby, hard money. Sure, it is. There's nothing wrong with that. I love the fundamentals of Bitcoin, but I also love to look at this market as realistically as possible. The US dollar still, as of this moment, is the world reserve currency. We are at a historic support and resistance confluence range, which at least for the time being is tentatively acting as support. We did have that bullish divergence across the RSI and the MACD histogram on the 1-day time frame. And I mean, with this most recent uptick in the DXY, we have seen a downturn in Bitcoin and many other speculative assets. Let's get this crypto. So right now, if the DXY is going to continue this uptrend, I think that is certainly another major bearish warning signal here for the Bitcoin price, right? And now here's the icing on the cake, right? So this one's kind of a mixed signal, and it's actually good or bad depending on how you want to take it. We have the DPO here. The DPO is looking for market cycle tops and bottoms. Is basically looking for similarities in the relationships here between market cycle tops and bottoms. And these are just, they can be mini cycles, right? Micro cycles and or macro cycles. This range of confluence here along the top has called many tops, even just swing high micro tops, or right, you guys see big swing highs, things of that nature. And on the bottom here, very similar to what we saw on the top, this has been a historic range where bottoming formations have come in. We are getting very close to this range right now, okay? And take it for what you will. That could mean that we're due for another drop before we get into this range here, which then we could possibly look to see a bounce back up towards the topping formation, right? Right, you're just waiting for a possible scenario here where we do begin to see some possible bullish divergences. We fill that gap. We get down further into this possible support zone in the 9,000s. And then hopefully at that point, we are here in the historic range that Bitcoin has liked to bottom in on the DPO. Let's get this crypto. Of course, past performance does not indicate future results, and this indicator does not have to be respected moving forward. But for me, it is what it is. We're very close to that bottoming range right there, right now, which has historically been a nice bullish indicator there. So right now with where we are, possibly bearish, right? As we could still have room to go to the downside. But on the contrary, if/when we get in there, it's possible that this could be a bullish indicator moving forward. Let's get this crypto. Right now, I am preparing to aggressively trade this next move in here. Many, unfortunately, my friends, are going to get caught like a deer in the headlights over and over and over again in this market, right? Just it's unfortunate, my friends, but many, they FOMO in, they have no risk management, right? So many people just go all in thinking that this is going to change the world. My friends, sure, maybe one day, but if you're trading this market, right? Even short term, midterm, you have to understand that your emotions need to be in check. Your risk management needs to be in check, because even the best trade setup can lead to a loss, right? But on the contrary, also, level-headed decisions with a perceived edge in the market, looking at things like patterns, confluences, indicators, etc., with a high reward, low risk trade setup can possibly lead to a life-changing trading opportunity. And right now, the Don Curbonaccio is certainly looking for that potentially life-changing trading opportunity right here, right now. So if you want to see exactly where I'll personally be looking to set up my trades, personally where I'm looking to enter, potentially take profit, things of that nature, my friends, I keep you up to date with that information exclusively in VIP. If you're not already in my VIP and you've been thinking about it, my friends, the market is heating up right now, and this is certainly a good time to get involved. So if you're not already in my VIP, today is truly the day. It's time to transform yourself from average Joe into savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I'll see you personally in VIP right now after this video. Let's get this crypto. Okay, my friends, I hope you've enjoyed here today. If you could one last time for the algorithm, a thumbs up is so greatly appreciated. Thank you. And as I've stated earlier, you've probably realized by now, this is the most realistic Bitcoin technical analysis channel you're ever going to find. So hit that subscribe button, tick the little bell, select all, and let's get this crypto. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to La Familia. My friends, until next time, be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs.
The material in this video has no regard to the specific investment objectives, financial situation, or particular needs of any viewer. This video is presented solely for informational and entertainment purposes and is not to be construed as a recommendation, solicitation, or an offer to buy or sell any securities, commodities, cryptocurrencies, or any related financial instruments, nor should any of its content be taken as investment advice. Crypto Kirby is not a financial advisor. The views expressed in this video are completely speculative opinions and do not guarantee any specific result or profit. Trading and investing is extremely high risk and can result in the loss of all of your capital. Any opinions expressed in this video are subject to change without notice. Crypto Kirby is not under any obligation to update or keep current the information contained herein. Crypto Kirby may have an interest in the securities, commodities, cryptocurrencies, and or derivatives of any entities referred to in this material. Crypto Kirby accepts no liability whatsoever for any loss or damage of any kind arising out of the use of all or any part of this material. Crypto Kirby recommends that you consult with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment or trading decisions. Thank you for watching and have a great day.